Hello, welcome on part 2 on setting up virtual cloud networks in OCI. So on the previous video I showed you how to create a VCN using the wizard. Now I'll show you how you can also create another VCN the hard way, and after that I will go a little bit in depth into the components. So you've seen I used the service links that you have. I clicked on the one that is already pinned, or I can go and select one recently visited. If it will appear in here. I'll click on virtual cloud network, and in here I'll click create a VCN. In the VCN, let's say I'll name it demo2 this time, and now the CIDR block, you see in here. Last time I used 10.0.1. This time I'll go to 10.1.0.0/16. Okay, 10.1.0.0/16, press enter. Okay, use DNS resolution, so it's going to be demo2. In here I can also select IPv6 if I want, or I can leave it without it. So for this one I will leave without IPv6 to see the differences between them, and I'll click create VCN. Okay, so this one was almost instantly. As you can see here, the only thing that were created are the basic ones: security list, TCP options, route tables, and CIDR block prefixes. Now if I want to continue using this one, I need to go and create the subnets, I need to create the routing tables, the internet gateway, NAT gateway, and so on. So let's talk a little bit about what is a subnet. Okay, so a subnet is a subdivision of the VCN that is crucial for the organization, because what you can do, you can split the full CIDR block that you have in here between multiple smaller bunches, that bunches are called subnets. If you want to do a computation on how you can create different subnets, you can search on Google subnet creation, subnet calculator. It's one of these things that you can go. It's gonna be calculator.net or something like that. So in here you can select the CIDR block, and you can put it based on your IP address or other IP addresses, private IP addresses. So in here, let me put any. I'll go 10.0.0.0, and in here I will select, let's say, a /24 CIDR block. I'll press calculate, and if you remember previously, this one was a public or a private, I don't think exactly, subnet, was put it in OCI, and the next CIDR block was the public one. Okay, so we had two. In here I can do the same, but right now I have 10.1 starting this subnet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna name it is private demo. Okay, now in here I have two options when I'm gonna create this subnet. One, I can make it regional. So what does means regional? Regional means that in a region where you have multiple availability domains, because high availability is something that you should have, it's a must in your tenancy, usually you want to create your resources that will reside in different locations. If it is a simple let's say region with only one AD but with multiple full domains, you don't care about this option, regional or availability domain specific. But in this case, in my case, I have I have my tenancy in Frankfurt, my home region, and I'm doing the demo in there. What I can do, I can choose between this regional or availability domain. So that means if I'm going to select another data center, another availability domain with my next machine, I can use the same CIDR block, for the data the subnet. So this is something very powerful. It's one of the advanced features that OCI has. Okay. Now let me put it in here. I had this CIDR block initially, so I'll go and put it as /24. I will select the routing table later, not at this point. And this one, I said I'm gonna do it a private, so I have the option to select the subnet access from here. I select the private subnet. Okay, DCP option, this one can go directly, and in here I can also select the security list, the default one, or I can create another one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another security list, and I'll add it a little bit later because I want to use the initial one as a public one and the second one as a private. Usually you tend to use the default one on most of it, so sometimes it's much safer to go with this one. So I created the first subnet in here, so I'll continue it with the public demo. Demo subnet. So in here, again, I'll leave it regional. I'll put the IP block in here. So right now, I want a /24, that is sure. And it's gonna tell me, look, this one, that 01, it is used. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change from 0 to 1. In here, I will leave public IP address. The route table, as I said, this time I can go with the default one, and in the default, I will add the route through an internet gateway. Right now, I don't have an internet gateway, so this needs to be done later. Also, I'll leave the other one unselected at this point. Resource logging is disabled at this point, but I will enable it later during the demo, with additional things that we enable them on the fly. Okay, now we have this. Next thing that you need to do is to create this internet gateway. Okay, so internet gateway, it is used for access from outside or also from inside to your subnets, to your resources. So I'm gonna enable EG demo2, so from internet gateway for demo2 VCN, and I'll create this internet gateway. And the next step that I want to do in here, I told you about the routing tables that I have in here. So routes are things that are related to the traffic rules and regulation in a VCN. So the route tables will determine how the traffic is directed in your VCN, while the security list, the one that I showed you before, is the one that is doing the firewall security rules. Okay, so if you're thinking routing, you can think the router, it is a policeman that is doing, let's say, redirection in traffic for you, while the security list, let's say, it's a policeman that is not allowing you to enter in a certain building, in a certain location. Okay. So mastering this, it's a key to secure, to have a secure and efficient network, in your environment. Okay, so now we have the internet gateway, and we go on the routing. I go to the default one, as I said. So in here, I need to select, I want to route this traffic to the internet gateway. Now, because we're talking about internet, I want to see everything that goes to the internet. We'll go to the selected internet gateway demo 2, and I will add this after I have the internet gateway. After I have the internet gateway, next option will be to have also NAT gateway. NAT gateway, it is used for private subnets access. Okay, so I'm gonna name it NAT gateway, demo 2. Okay, so I'll create also this, and I'll create another routing table, as I said, a private one. Okay, so in here, private RT from routing table. In here, I'll go and select another rule. This time I'll select a NAT gateway. Okay, destination, let's say it's gonna be, again, I want to go from a database or a machine that has private IPs to the internet. So I'm gonna use this CIDR block, full internet. In your case, it can be, let's say, you can do connections with on-premise, other cloud providers, and so on. So you know exactly where you want to go. In my case, this is the demo, so I will be very permissive on this part. Okay, so I will also create this routing table rule in here. So I have at this point 2 routing tables. Now I'll go back to the subnet. So I'll do something like this. I'll click on each subnet that I have created. I'll press edit, and now I will select, so this is the public one. So this one will use the default route for this table. As you can see, we have the full mask. I can go, I think, make it a little bit later if I want, but no, it's okay. /24, it is okay. I have over 50,000 IP, so there is no issue with this one. And now I'll click on the private one, and on the private one, as you see, it's already put it the private one, the default one, but this is not okay. I will move it to the private routing table, and I will save it. Okay, now I'll go back to the VCN, and I'll create the third gateway. Okay, so this service gateway, it is used to access services that are in OCI using Oracle backbone. Okay, so I will not go over the internet using the internet gateway to access, let's say, an object storage or another service that we want to use from OCI. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an SGW demo. So this is for demo 2, let's say, to have it in here. and the services, not only OCI Frankfurt Object Storage, but all Frankfurt services that are can be used with Oracle Service Networks. Okay, so in here, if you're gonna click on Help, you're gonna go to the Service Gateway, and on the Service Gateway page, you'll be able to understand what are the services that you can access, what are the differences between all of these VCNs, gateways, Internet Gateway, Service Gateway, and NAT Gateway. And in here, they will show you at the end, you should have a link that will show what are the services that are available using Service Gateway. Okay, so in Service Gateway Management, we can go and look at different services, or service gateways. 1 second. Okay, in documentation you should see what are all the services that you can use with with Service Gateway. What are the services in OCI that can be used through Service Gateway. Okay, now I'll click Create Service Gateway. Okay, and I also have this. So now I'll go back to the route. This one will be used for the private routes. In here I will select again Service Gateway. So I'll select another gateway in here. I will select all Frankfurt services. I will select the Service Gateway that I created earlier, and I'll click Add the Service Gateway. So setting up a VCN is the first step in architecture of your cloud environment. So that's why we also recommend to create an architecture. You're gonna create the subnets, you're gonna put everything that you need in there. So I hope you enjoyed this longer video where I created manually this type of another virtual cloud network and configure all the networking options that you can use in this. There are still certain things that needs to be configured, like network security group, but for now we are on the right path. Thank you, and see you on my next video.